p.m. I better get started.
You know what's up. It's Sweet Dan with comic reviews.
Wow, that's something I don't hear very often.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome to my video outhouse. It's time once again for
Sweet Talking with Sweet Dan, Sweet and Comic Book Man in Comic Book Man's video outhouse.
It almost sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
It's time for that already.
Almost.
And we're coming to you from Alternate Reality, which is located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Mount Greenwood is a neighborhood of the city of Chicago, by the way, if you didn't know that.
With a 2-drink minimum.
With a 2-drink minimum.
Civil War battlefield.
Yes, former Civil War battlefield.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. It's a former Civil War battlefield. And today, Dan is here to review one book and one book only.
That's it.
And that book is
X-Men.
Yes.
Second Coming.
Second Coming.
That's right.
Number one. It's a one-shot. It's a one-shot. It kicks off.
It's sort of a one-shot.
Well, sort of a one-shot. It kicks off the Second Coming storyline, which is the third chapter in the Messiah trilogy that has been going on now for a while. It's the capper. It's the ender. What started with House of M will end with this.
Well, kind of. We'll start with Messiah.
Well, that's what they're promoting. That's what they're promoting.
They're hoping.
They're hoping.
Here's the deal. This is kind of a cool book.
Is it?
Kind of. For a couple reasons. It is Craig Kyle and Chris Yost, who have been writing the phenomenal X-Force series, and before that they helmed the new X-Men redo after it went from New Mutants to New X-Men Academy X to New X-Men.
Okay.
They took over around issue 20 and ran that book into the ground. Because of Messiah Complex.
It's an X-book. You always run X-books into the ground.
No, I didn't mean run it into the ground with poor writing. They rode that title from 20 till the end. It was a really good series, actually, that I was surprised that I liked as much as I did. Okay. Ever since then, they've been building on threads that they established in X-Force, which spun out of Messiah Complex. Mm-hmm. Hope was the first mutant baby born since M-Day in House of M. And a small, brief battle was fought in Alaskan City that ended up decimating the town's population. And
I hate it when that happens.
A whole bunch of mutants got blamed and stuff. You know,
man,
poor mutants.
They always get blamed for everything.
Well, they shouldn't be so different.
Yeah, stop decimating towns.
They should try to fit in more.
If you pretended you were superheroes, you wouldn't have this problem.
Instead of we're mutants.
Whining all the time.
Instead of saying, I'm a mutant! Hey, look, he's a mutant! Let's string him up!
So anyway, from Messiah Complex, you go into Messiah War, where Cable and Hope were sent into the future, so Cable could essentially do what Scott and Jean did with him as a baby, with the new baby Hope.
Okay.
There's been allusions to whether or not Hope is actually in possession of the Phoenix Force, maybe a reincarnated Jean Grey, because, you know, that chick never actually dies, ever.
Oh, could she?
Here's hoping. Yeah, you know, I'm not really that amped up about that. What I am liking is that this spins organically out of the X-Force series, which I think is Kyle and Yost are slated to leave at the end of the culmination of this series. You mentioned that this is a one-shot. And it is. Yeah. It is to an extent, because there isn't going to be an X-Force Second Coming #2. No. What there is going to be is 20 other parts of this story.
That's why I said this is a one-shot, which leads you into...
Yeah. Leads you down a path of bills, because, I mean, seriously, you look at the checklist, and there's like 7 books a month.
Well, it's gonna be in Uncanny,
Legacy, New Mutants, X Factor, X Force.
You know where it's gonna be? All the usual suspects.
Oh yeah,
that's where it's gonna be in the mutant part of the Marvel universe.
And I don't know how ready I am for that. It's been Messiah War was really good, man. Apocalypse and Strife facing each other in the future. That was really interesting. I think the cool stuff that's going to come out of this is the revelation of X-Force to the remainder of the X-Men team. Scott and Logan kind of set that up, and not everybody's on the ball with that thing. Cats like Nightcrawler are kind of religious. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Colossus is kind of an artsy-fartsy kind of dude.
Who turns into a tin can.
But there's some pretty great scenes illustrated by David Finch. This is, I think, like the last work he did for Marvel interior-wise, and he's doing all the covers for the series. There's some great action scenes that look like they come out of a Michael Bay movie.
Okay.
And not that Michael Bay movies are renowned for great storytelling, but they're renowned for great action scenes.
Yeah.
And there's one scene in particular that is a highway chase between whatever random human faction hates mutants and wants to kill them all this week.
Yeah.
And the
Republicans.
The Boy Scouts.
Tea Party.
Tea Party.
Whoever has set their sights on the muties these days. There's some really great cinematic shots that I was really, really into, that I was like, man, why don't they do this in the X-Men movie? And then X-23 stabs a dude in the head. In plain view of everybody.
Really, really right through the skull. Yeah, there's no quibbling or equivocating about it, or whatever the hell I'm trying to say.
Baseline,
boom, right in the head.
Equivocating.
Equivocating. Thank you so much, Jeff.
And he was down, man. It was like she was just murdering him. So the revolution is out. The revelation is X-Force is out of the closet, so to speak. Everybody knows about him. And we're going to see where that takes them. We're going to see what happens with the X-Men team. Because somebody's slated to die and somebody's slated to come back. And, you know.
It's a little taste of violence porn.
Oh, yeah.
In X-Force. There's a skosh of violence.
You know what? X-Force is heavy on death and blood and dismemberment. Yeah. But it's also all deeply, deeply rooted in X-Men continuity.
Yeah.
Which while it seems like a flash-in-the-pan pseudo-image throwback... Mm-hmm. I think this is what would be going on if X-Men, if Cyclops was really the leader of a mutant population. I mean, hey, we got people that do our dirty work. You know what I mean? So.
Well, the first 10 or 12 issues or so of X-Force had two variant covers. Yep. One was a regular cover, and one was exactly the same cover except full of blood. It was a blood-drenched cover. So you could pretty much tell from the outset the direction X-Force was going in.
But, you know, and over time, they've moved away from that. While never actually getting completely away from we're the team with claws and knives.
Yeah.
But they have done a lot of interesting things with X mythos. With, I mean, they're part of the crew that was responsible for bringing Archangel back and
X mythos.
Mythos. I say words wrong all the time.
Mythos? Who's Mythos?
He's my buddy.
We got Bo here.
He's Greek.
You've been talking to Bo too much. He does that crap all the time.
You are who you hang out with, guys.
It's an expectation.
You know, sometimes you just say stuff wrong.
Okay, so this is good.
I say get it.
This is good.
As long as you're, ready to be on the hook for a bunch of
and
other
a 50
stuff.
50 books that come after.
Well, you may not want to go to the 50, but at least pick this up to check out what's going on if you love mutants.
David Finch's art is superb.
Yeah.
I've criticized his Ultimatum stuff because I thought it was rushed. This looks like it took him about 6 or 7 months.
Finch is moving over to DC, so this is it for Finch's Marvel work. So if you want to see it, now's the time. Anyway, that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. That was Dan's review of X-Men Second Coming.
Yeah.
You can read all Dan's reviews, though, at the store's website. And where's the store's website at?
Alright, Queen of Redundancy here. www.myalternatereality.com.
So stop off at the store's website, read all Dan's reviews, and until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Sweet Dan.
Saying,
bye!
Alternate Reality is located at 3149 West 111th Street. That's the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in Chicago, the beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood neighborhood. You can always reach us at 773-881-HERO or at the store's website, www.myalternatereality.com.